Ladies and gentlemen, Unforgiven rolls on with the Raw Women's Championship matchup between Toni Storm and Shayna Baszler. And the question I have coming into this matchup is, can Toni Storm get the job done? Because let's face it, this has really not been her year. She lost to Shayna Baszler 8 days ago in a tag team matchup. She went to NXT but lost to Sasha Banks in her only match there. She's coming into this matchup with a record of 1-3 on top of that. So I will say this, if you are Toni Storm, this is really the chance to show why you belong here on the web brand. This is the chance to show that you got that fire, that you got that intensity. But the fact that Toni Storm is here says a lot as well. Because she did defeat Io Shirai and Charlotte Flair, who claimed to be next in line for after Unforgiven. She beat them in a triple threat match following SummerSlam, and she even put Shayna Baszler through a table during a little contract signing. And I'm sure Shayna Baszler has not forgotten about that whatsoever. And I'm sure, for as confident as Shayna Baszler is in her ability, she's not going to take Toni Storm light. Shayna is walking in this matchup with a record of 8-0-1. And given the numerous defenses that she has had up to this point, I think it is safe to say that Shayna Baszler is going to be hard to stop tonight. But I think if anybody can do it, it's Toni Storm. If anybody can operate with their backs against the wall, it is Toni Storm. Shayna Baszler walking down to this ring, looking at that championship, because I think there's a part of her, like I said, that knows that Toni Storm got what it takes. That knows that Toni Storm can definitely walk away with this thing if she is not careful. There's a reason Shayna's walking in here as a champion. And her striking capability. The ability for Shayna Baszler to wear you down, wear you out, and lock in that therapeutic clutch, and it's lights out. So are we going to see a repeat of previous defenses for Shayna Baszler? Or is this going to be the time where Toni Storm gets her moment? Raw Women's Championship on the line here in Fort Worth, Texas. Let's rock and roll. Toni Storm looking confident. Toni Storm ready to push past everybody that's been doubting her up to this point. Toni Storm is willing to show that she got it. But the thing is, you got to deal with Shayna Baszler again. Someone who is competent. Someone who knows what they're doing inside this ring, walking into this matchup pretty much undefeated. I got one draw to her name. Still. No one has yet to pin or submit Shayna Baszler yet. Toni Storm walking into this thing with a record of 1-3. But regardless, who's about to have a win added into the record book? It's Unforgiven. It is the Raw Women's Championship. Toni Storm, Shayna Baszler. Let's rock and roll. When the matchup gets underway, I would like to say a huge thank you to the Coltrane for allowing me to get into the booth and to do my thing here. This is your boy JNW Boss, happy to be here. It was been a crazy night here at Unforgiven. I'm sure this matchup is going to be fantastic as well. Excellent wrist lock there by Toni Storm. Toni Storm, look at that, really trying to punch and wear out the arm of Shayna Baszler. But Shayna able to slip it into a side headlock. Simple yet effective. And this is the part where you can honestly say these two women are kind of even Steven here. Here we go. Off the rope goes Shayna. It's Raw. Dropped down by Toni Storm here. Trying to go for the shot to the leg. Trying to go for a kick of some sort, but Shayna Baszler not letting that happen. Toni Storm knows what it's like to be in the ring with Shayna Baszler, as I stated before, 8 days ago, lost a tag match to Shayna Baszler and even lost to Shayna Baszler on the UK Indie thing a year ago. But hopefully, Toni is able to take what she learned through those encounters, take everything that she's been through over the past year as motivation to beat Toni Storm here tonight. But right now, it's looking pretty even. And look at that, excellent work. Now Toni Storm dropping down. Shayna Baszler, Shayna, work on her feet right there, able to get out of things. Look at it. Oh, it went to the back of the leg. That's a good thing that Toni Storm needs to do. She needs to stay away from Shayna Baszler as much as possible. Tried to run at her and couldn't follow suit properly. With Shayna Baszler the ability to take advantage. Snapmare by Shayna off the rope goes Shayna. Boot right there to the face, putting down Toni Storm. And you see the confidence beginning to show on the champion, but then again, that confidence may backfire. Toni Storm off the rope, trying to go for a drop kick. Shayna Baszler a step ahead, getting out of dodge there. And now look at this. Shayna Baszler not gonna let her back up. Here we go. They're locking the submission. Dragon Sleeper is locked in. She got the leg right to grab. Oh, look at that. Excellent work by Toni Storm getting out of it. Great defense led to some great offense. A kick to the back here. Look at this. Trying to roll up Shayna Baszler. Potentially catch the champ. By surprise there too. She may have it here. No. And look at that. Oh, wow. Excellent work on the part of Shayna Baszler. Realizing that Toni Storm were going to rush back in for some offense. Not letting it happen. And look at them. These two women are trading back and forth. Their boot right to the midsection by Toni Storm. Toni Storm now going to send Shayna Baszler off into the ropes. And look at that. Trying to go for something there. But Shayna Baszler showing off that strength. Not letting it happen. Shayna Baszler was probably looking to get there with a striking combination. When she does that, she's a dangerous threat. Look at Toni Storm countering these strikes. She knows what Shayna's capable of. When she starts getting on that striking spree, it's not a good look. It's never a good night. But Toni Storm doing what she can. Looking to try to roll up Shayna Baszler again. He might have her here. He can't. Very early on in the matchup, I can almost respect the skill of Toni Storm playing very evasive. Trying to not let Shayna Baszler get too much going here. Look at that. I can't count it again. Excellent work on the part of Toni Storm. Toni Storm now sending Shayna Baszler off to the apron. Now look at it. Now Shayna in a world of trouble. Repeated forearm right to the back and followed it up with the back down. This is the type of offense that Toni Storm, I should say, needs to stay in this matchup to the top rope. What a leg drop across the neck. Across the neck to the champion. Straight into the cover here. No, she's going to have Shayna Baszler. No, she does not. But then again, I believe there's also a part of Toni Storm that knows that she's not going to have Shayna Baszler this early. There's a part of Toni Storm that knows how tough Shayna Baszler is. And usually covers like this early in the matchup is usually just used to wear down your opponent. Up to the rope goes. Oh, wow. On the little rope went Toni Storm, and Shayna Baszler making her pay for it, showcasing that power. The boot to the face again. And now the boot to the midsection. They're just stomping on her. They're just stepping over, just like a piece of garbage. That's exactly what Shayna Baszler probably feels about Toni Storm, but she knows that Toni Storm is able to bring it in. What a knee to the face, man. You might have a knockout shot on Toni Storm. Does it happen enough? Shayna Baszler, for as confident as she is, she knows Toni Storm can bring it. For as confident as she is, she knows what Toni Storm is capable of. And look at it. Shayna Baszler now got the arm. Oh, Toni Storm going to wear out that arm, and this can be a beginning of a bad night for Toni Storm if that keeps happening. Shayna Baszler got a variety of submissions to put you away. And Shayna Baszler is feeling confident. She knows that she got the challenger in trouble here. Look at it. Oh, stop right to the face. Just measuring. Shayna Baszler showcasing her viciousness, showcasing her brutality. Toni Storm trying to recover, and look at this. Stomping on the hand. Talk about weakening the arm for future offense. Shayna Baszler doing just that. Going for a cover. Two. Oh, wait a minute. I thought she may have had it. Shayna Baszler lifting up Toni Storm. And I think it's attitudes like this that may potentially leave Toni Storm, that may potentially leave Shayna Baszler in trouble as this matchup progresses. I mean, she's in control now. She's working on that arm. She's wearing out that arm and that shoulder right now. But as this matchup goes on, if you're Shayna Baszler, are you going to regret making a decision like that? We will find out. And right now, she may be regretting it. As Toni Storm is able to roll and then catches Shayna with the elbow. Breaking the grip, getting some distance. Kick to the leg here by Toni Storm. Toni Storm trying to see what she can do to get back in to this Raw Women's Championship match. Taunting in front of Shayna Baszler like I'm still here. I'm still ready to fight. And I'm going for that Raw Women's Championship. But maybe she should have stayed focused on the task at hand, which was to continue to get offense in on Shayna Baszler. Now Shayna back in control, running off the apron. Down go Toni Storm and Shayna again. That confidence is shining through here in Fort Worth, Texas. This is Unforgiven, and it's all about the Raw Women's Championship. And Shayna Baszler feels like she may be moments away from retaining, but look at Toni Storm making it back to her feet. Shayna Baszler wasn't ready, and Toni Storm catches her with the Hurricane Rana. And stuff like this is going to keep Toni Storm alive in this matchup, and now Shayna Baszler is in a heap of trouble. And I was wondering if Shayna Baszler was going to potentially regret maybe not ending this matchup when she potentially could have here. Oh, Toni Storm trying to go for a cross body. Not happening. Shayna Baszler able to counter, flips her into a powerbomb position. This is not a good look here for Toni Storm, as Shayna Baszler just toying around with Toni Storm. But wait a second, the lower back of Shayna Baszler gave out. Doing a little bit too much right there. Toni Storm with the clothesline. Wait a second, Shayna Baszler back up with the shoulder tackle. And I think hopefully that may have woke up something in Shayna Baszler to say, all right, I need to go ahead and put this matchup away. She might not want to let Toni Storm get too much distance in this match, or it's going to be over. Shayna Baszler now going back to her bread and butter, going right back to the arm, and then the exploder suplex, driving down Toni Storm. And I think that's going to be the thing. And wait a second, Shayna Baszler may have it here. Off that exploder suplex, 2, and then kick out at 2. Shayna Baszler getting a little bit frustrated. The moment I say that, she kind of collects herself. She realizes she's in control, and let's go ahead and keep the dice rolling here. Look at this. Again, the confidence level of Shayna Baszler. Kick to the back, but Toni Storm not having it. Toni Storm ready for her. Toni Storm wants her to bring it on. The kick to the leg. Toni Storm not backing down here. Shayna going to need to bring it. That second kick from Shayna, and Toni still standing. Again, tell her to bring it on, the kick to the leg. I don't think Shayna was expecting all this out of Toni Storm. Look at the heart. Look at the guts that Toni Storm is showing. Toni Storm wanting Shayna Baszler to bring it on. And she's doing that. Well, there we go. Yeah, that's how you put a stop to that. Shayna Baszler now getting sick of the mind games of Toni Storm. Gonna flip her through with the repeated knee, the kick to the chest. And now she got Toni Storm in a heap of trouble. What a knee. What a knee by Shayna Baszler. Team Shayna Baszler beginning to pick things up here, but Toni Storm able to counter. Off onto the apron goes Shayna Baszler. The shoulder tackle to the floor. And now Toni Storm with the running splash off of the apron. Toni Storm looking to prove the doubters wrong tonight. And Charlotte Flair, I know she'd watch it all, because like I said before, she looks to be next in line. Whoever the winner of this matchup may be. And the question is, who is it going to be? Because right now, Toni Storm may have found the opening to potentially win this one with a drop kick to the back. And I like that. Not waiting for Shayna to turn around. Just going to get her while she can. The drop kick to the back. Is she going to have Shayna Baszler beat? No, she will not. Trying to go for a drop kick again. 0 for 2. As far as that is concerned, Shayna Baszler was able to counter. And now look at this. triangle choke. Triangle choke is locked in. Toni Storm is in trouble, and this worked perfectly because Shayna Baszler had been working on the arm of Toni Storm throughout this matchup, and now Toni Storm is in a position where she either taps out or she escapes this hold. Good work on the part of Shayna Baszler grabbing the arm that would have been closest to the rope. And so Toni Storm needs to figure something out here. Crowd here in Texas is on the side of Toni Storm. Chanting, please don't tap, and she does it. The crowd here in Texas pulling Toni Storm through in that moment. Not only the crowd, but Toni Storm's own will and determination to become the new Raw Women's Champion. But she's having to do that against a confident and a skilled Shayna Baszler. But Shayna Baszler confident may get the better of her excellent form against Toni Storm. Form again, this time it drops her. And to get back up though, Shayna Baszler. Shayna's not going to go ahead and let that slide. Off the rope goes Shayna Baszler in the arm drag. To the outside, and Toni Storm with the suicide dive taking down Shayna. It's moments like this that's going to keep Toni Storm in this matchup. It is momentum-shifting moves like that that's going to keep Toni Storm's hope of becoming champion alive. Is she going to win this one? Off into the corner goes Shayna now. Like I pointed out earlier, it may have been that overconfidence of Shayna early that allowed Toni Storm to stay alive. And it may cost Shayna Baszler her Raw Women's Championship. That hip attack in the corner. Toni Storm now going up to the top rope. Shayna Baszler is in a heap of trouble. Trying to go for that leg drop. Shayna saw it coming this time around. Couldn't get it. And look at this. Shayna Baszler now getting vicious. Now getting aggressive. That double leg takedown into the full mount right there. And look at this, right back into the exploder suplex. Shayna Baszler now not wasting time. Shayna Baszler probably sees her Raw Women's Championship slipping away. She knows she got to do something and do it now in order for her to retain the Raw Women's Championship here. Look at it. Look at this. Shayna Baszler using the top rope as offense. Again, back to work on the arm. Back to work on the shoulder with the arm bar across the top rope. And now look at that, Irish whipping. Wait a second, Toni Storm with the knee. Toni Storm with the knee. German suplex. Shayna Baszler was able to counter. Oh, the clothesline. Great way, great ring awareness by the part of Shayna Baszler. Sees that she has a little bit of distance. Going to clothesline Toni to the outside to prevent her from doing anything further. And Shayna's showing that Toni Storm is number one in her book. And now this is not a good... Oh, wait a second. The lower back again. The lower back of Shayna Baszler once again being taken out here. And this all may have to do with when Toni put Shayna through that table a couple of weeks ago. But wait a second. What the world is Toni Storm doing? The powerbomb. Right up on the ramp. Referee that a count of 7. And she's shaking her head. She knows she got to get Shayna Baszler back in the ring here. He's dragging the referee that a count of 8. Referee that a count of 9. Toni might want to break this thing quickly. And she does right as the referee was getting to 10. That saved her butt because of that. Shayna was able to capitalize. A desperate move on the part of Toni Storm. Toni doing the right thing, breaking the count. But this allowed Shayna Baszler to get back into this one. Toni Storm now within a world of trouble. Up on the top rope, look at this. Shayna Baszler, gut wrench, suplex bringing her down. The height, the elevation, the landing of Toni Storm. Shayna Baszler is failure. Never mind, she is not. This is what the Raw Women's Division is all about. It is women wrestling at its finest, and the crowd here in Fort Worth in great appreciation of these two women, of these two goddesses of professional wrestling, showing what, oh man, showing what championship gold is all about here. Toni Storm now off the rope. Oh, what a senton. What a senton by Toni Storm. To the top rope. Here we go, frog splash. Right across the rim. Shayna Baszler is in trouble. Shayna Baszler is in trouble. Is Toni going to win this thing? And no. Got to do a little bit more. But is she going to be able to do enough here to beat Shayna Baszler? Is she going to be able to do enough to become the Raw Women's Champion? Shayna Baszler is in a heap of trouble here. What is it? To the outside goes Shayna. Off the rope goes Toni Storm. Suicide dive. Ending Shayna looked like she crashed into that announce table. Looked like the back of Toni's head went into that announce table. And that may have allowed Toni Storm a wide open door to potentially walk out here with the win. What a DDT off the top rope. Toni Storm now going for the cover. Shayna Baszler kicks out at 2. I thought Shayna Baszler was just moments away from losing that Raw Women's Championship, but apparently not. Oh! And now Toni Storm using that top turnbuckle as a weapon, repeatedly driving the head of Shayna Baszler right into it. We'll think Shayna off into the corner once again. Look at this, Toni Storm showing that fire, showing that determination. And she's also gassed. How much more does Toni Storm have in the tank? How much more does Shayna Baszler have in the tank? Look at this. Got Shayna Baszler air raid crab net breaker. Straight into the cover right there. Toni Storm may have this one too. No. There's the reason Shayna Baszler is undefeated going into this matchup. There's the reason Shayna Baszler is the Raw Women's Champion. Because in addition to her skills, she got heart, she got guts, she got endurance, and she got stamina. Which is why I'm beginning to question how much more do these women have left. Toni Storm soaking that in a little bit too much. Shayna Baszler capitalizes the repeated knees, and then a kick right across the chest again. Shayna Baszler. Oh, what a kick to the side of the head. That may have been a knockout shot there for Shayna Baszler. She may got Toni Storm in trouble. Not good. Toni Storm now is in a dire situation. Uh-oh. Toni Storm better brace for impact. This relief German suplex off the top. And now Shayna Baszler just laughing at her opponent. Realizing that she may have this one. Realizing that she may have this, the champ in the bag here. Or the challenger in the bag, I should say. And look at this. Oh, the DDT off the top. This is over. This is over for Toni Storm. Here's the clutch is locked in. And this may be good night for Toni Storm. Is Shayna Baszler going to win this one? Is Toni Storm going to submit and be just another victim of Shayna Baszler? Or is Toni Storm now more than ever want to show that she got heart? Referee in perfect position. Checking for the arm. See if they go limp. Checking to see if Toni taps out. She's staying alive though. He's staying alive. Referee calling it off. Because Toni Storm is still in this one. Uh-oh, wait a second. Look at this, the pile driver. Power driver dropping down. Shayna Baszler. Talking about something that was needed for Toni Storm. Oh, no. Kick out at 2. The crowd showing their appreciation for this women's championship match. And again, the disrespect by Shayna Baszler. But she's not letting it happen. Storm 0. Storm 0 by Toni Storm. Is that going to be the final act of defiance for Shayna Baszler? And yes, it is. Toni Storm wins it. Toni Storm is your brand new Raw Women's Champion. And the crowd here is in shock. But Toni Storm proved tonight that she is not going to be just another victim. Toni Storm proved tonight that she runs the Raw Women's division. All the doubters can sit down and be quiet. And Shayna Baszler, what a heck of a reign. What a heck of a run. But it is now Toni time here in the WWE. What a matchup. What a matchup. What a performance. You see the action here on the replay. I thought it was it off of the DDT. But Toni Storm showing that everything that she's been through, all the doubters that said that she couldn't do it, has been proven wrong. And Toni Storm is your brand new Raw Women's Champion. What a matchup. What a positive representation for women wrestling with a performance like that here tonight at Unforgiven. And what will the future hold for Toni Storm?